Today I have the keys to the 2020 Land Rover Defender 110 SE. Huge shout out to Greenville Luxury for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely check out their website. They also have Jaguar, Porsche, and Volvo. This model here is finished off in Tasman Blue. It has an MSRP just under $74,000. Let's go ahead and get into today's review by starting up underneath the hood, where you'll find the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. This also has a mild hybrid electric system which produces 48 volts, and this is paired to the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. It produces 395 horsepower, around 5,500 RPM, and 406 pound-feet of torque as low as 2,000 RPM. This is all-wheel drive with a 2-speed transfer gearbox. It weighs in around 4,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just under 6 seconds, up to its top speed of 119 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 23.5 gallons, you can expect to see around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 22 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 101.9 inches. Its overall length is 180.4. It has a width of 82.9, a height of 77.5. Its ground clearance measures in at 11.5 inches at its max, and it has a wading depth of 35.5 inches. With all of those specs out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the exterior walk around on the all-new Defender. We're gonna start up front with the LED headlights, the LED DRLs, and the LED turn signals. You'll notice that the DRLs have a really nice halo design to them, going right around the headlight, and then we have cube-shaped designs for the turn signals. I think it's a very cool lighting pattern. It just gives it a really unique design. As we make our way to the center, you'll see there's a really nice trim piece in the upper grille with the Land Rover badge. We have Defender up on the hood. And then down below, you'll see more square shapes in the grille mesh, along with a forward-facing camera, which is nicely integrated there. We have parking sensors that run throughout the bottom, along with a really nice brush trim piece right in the center. You can see the fog lights are also integrated into that on both sides as well. And then we have some nice cutouts and openings to provide maximum cooling to this engine. You'll see there's a cutout way down below, which will help with better aerodynamics. And then you can see the front mounted radiators on both sides. There's no mesh here, so it's going to provide a lot of airflow. This really retains the boxiness from the original Land Rover Defender, and I really like how modernized it has been in the latest generation here. We have really nice lines up on the hood and these trim pieces on both sides just to give it that off-road look. And then finished off in this blue, I think it's a really nice blue. It's not too bright, but it's not too dark at the same time. It has a really nice presence to it. But as we make our way to the side profile now, you'll notice this has a set of 32-inch all-terrain tires with a 20-inch two-tone design wheel in the center. Has a really nice look against this blue. We have the Defender badge. You can see they're finished off in a square design. And then we have the gloss black side mirrors. They're power folding, feature the integrated turn signal, and there's a camera underneath each one. So you have plenty of visibility around this entire SUV, which is perfect for off-roading, as I'll show you that system here soon. Up top, this has a full panoramic sunroof. We also have the black roof rails as well. And then one of my favorite features is the body colored square right here. It hides the pillar very nicely and just gives it a unique look. And then talking about the fender flares real quick, they have really nice arches to them, both front and rear, just to give it more of an aggressive look. And then that leads us on to the rear end of the Defender. Up top, let's start with the gloss black shark fin. You'll see that there's a camera up there. This is integrated into the rear view mirror. So when you flip that up, you're actually looking at a real screen camera looking at what's behind you. So it's very cool to see that. This also has the normal backup camera just above the license plate. We have more of that brushed finish along with parking sensors. Of course, we have the full-size spare mounted on the back door as well. And then we have the LED turn signals. Everything lights up when the turn signal is on, which is a really cool touch to see. And then this also has a towing capacity up to 8,200 pounds. Before we go ahead and jump inside of the Land Rover Defender, I already went ahead and raised it into its highest off-roading setting. As this has an adaptive suspension, you can easily raise it if you want to go off-road. You have about 38 degrees of an approach angle and 40 degrees for the departure angle. So this is where we get that 11.5 inches of ground clearance. Of course, you can lower it to make it easier to enter and exit the vehicle. But now let's go ahead and jump to the interior just by grabbing on the door handle there. The Land Rover Defender is made for off-road, so there's a lot of durable materials on the interior to help in scenarios like that. So we have really nice textures on the door panel. You'll see there's a good amount of storage space in the lower section of the door. This also has a 6-speaker Meridian sound system. We have all the window controls along with the memory seating adjustments right in front of the grab handle. And you can see the exposed screws running throughout this panel just to give it that aggressive off-road design. As we work our way to the interior, we have really nice leather seats. They are heated. We have this texture running around the bolsters and around the outside, just adding to that more durable material, of course with leather on the inserts. We have all those side controls down below. And then moving on to the steering wheel now, it's really nice how we have solid leather along with this really cool trim piece that you'll see on the door panels. It's also on the sides here too, and it just gives it a really nice design. You'll also notice that the controls on the steering wheel are not lit up right now when we go ahead and start up the vehicle. Where now you'll see on the right side we have the heated steering wheel control along with your cruise control settings. On the left side you have your voice commands along with Bluetooth, and then if you just push this circle in the center, now you have a different keypad and you can actually use that to control the gauge cluster. So you'll see the tach on the right side, your speedometer on the left side, and then there's a lot of information that you can go through from your media. You have your trip information, you can look at all of your display information as well, any warnings that you need to look at with the vehicle, and you're back to media. So it's very simple and straightforward to go through. On the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see we have the parking brake, along with a little bit of storage space. You could place your phone there if you'd like to, any smaller items. You'll also notice real quick that we have the nav screen set up, or your map set up in the center of the gauge cluster, and you'll see more of that durable material running across the entire dash. It's on the top of the 10-inch screen, and then it runs below it as well, and on its way to the glove box there. But looking at the 10-inch screen, it's very easy to go through. We're on the home setting right now, so you can see navigation, your phone when that is paired, along with media. If I just click on the navigation button, you can see that in full screen. You can go to your phone when that is of course paired. We have the music to go through, and then this last button is back to our home screen. You can also click on this person up on the top. That'll bring down any notifications that you need to look at. So it's very nice to go through that. And the screen is also designed in more of a floating design. So you can see it goes all the way through. You have this shelf that goes all the way to the passenger side along with a USB port. So you can put any items up there that you'd like to. It has a really nice lip, so nothing is going to slide around or fall out. We have the gear selector right in the middle. If I pull the release up front, I can go all the way into reverse, and you'll see the backup camera up here with the top-down view on the left side. We can also click on off-road, and you will see the same camera pop up. You can lock and unlock the differentials. You'll also notice that the diagram for the front wheels will turn as the steering wheel turns, which is nice to see. And then going back to on-road, we can look at all of the different camera angles. So just by clicking on these diagrams here, you can easily pull up whatever angle you'd like to, and you can easily see around the entire vehicle. So it's very nice to see. You can also just click on these arrows too, and it will go through the entire circle of the different camera angles. And then of course, putting the vehicle into drive, you can see the forward-facing camera too, which is especially helpful for off-road. Just clicking on the P, that will put us back into park. You have a few off-road settings right here. You have traction control along with your downhill assist or your low range setting. Pushing on these dials here will raise and lower the vehicle. We have another downhill assist control along with the engine start stop feature. And then looking at these two rotary dials, they are multifunctional. Pushing on the bottom here is the fan speed, so you can easily adjust that. And then if you unclick that and then push on this dial, you can control the heated and ventilated seats for driver and passenger. So that's awesome to see. And then just by clicking on the top button now you can look at the different driving modes. So we have eco, you can go into comfort, we have grass, gravel, and snow. There's mud and ruts, sand, you have rock crawl, and then a wade. So obviously that's going through water. You'll also see all of that change on the center gauge cluster as well. So it's very cool how many settings you have to be able to take this off-road and how universal all of these buttons are. You also have the power and volume for the radio. And then making our way down below, there is a lot of storage space in the center compartment here. You'll see a USB, a USB port, and a 12 volt. And then of course, a lot of storage space. It goes all the way to the back here. You can put any items there that you'd like to. You have two cup holders right in the center, along with a wireless charging port, and then a lot of room in the center glove box there. It's finished off in more of that durable material. And then as we make our way to the glove box, you have a lot of space for all of the items that need to go there. We'll go ahead and take one last look at this interior. Very nice seats. As I mentioned earlier, this has the full panoramic sunroof, so you have those controls for the sunshade as well, along with the sunglass holder in the back. And then looking at the rear view mirror, obviously it's the normal camera right now. If we flip this up, now we have that digital camera that I showed earlier. So it's very cool to have both options. Hopping into the rear seats of the Defender now, you'll see that that durable material runs to the back, of course with the leather on the inserts. There's actually a ton of room. I am 5'10", and I have about 6 inches above my head and plenty of room in front of my knees here with the seat set at my height. You'll also notice behind the front seats there's a USB port along with a place to put any attachments. You can put a coat hanger here or anything for a tablet. There's also a little bit of storage space behind the seats as well. And then down below we have the all-weather floor mats. And then looking at the center of the seat now, if you don't have somebody in the center, you have 2 cup holders, which is nice to see. You can also fold down the middle seat as well. So this has a 40-20-40 split. You'll see more of that rubberized texture on the backing just to protect the back of the seats. You can fold them all down and put any items in the back that you'd like to. And then of course you can fold these seats down in the 60-40 split just to give you a little bit more versatility. But now making our way to the 3rd row, I'm gonna go ahead and put this seat up. The easiest way to do this is to grab this handle on the right side of the headrest, and you can actually push the entire seat forward, giving you plenty of room to go ahead and hop in. And once in the back seats at 5'10", I have plenty of headroom, but it is a little bit tight for leg room. There's cup holders back here along with a strap on both sides and a 12 volt, so that way you can charge items if you'd like to. You also have an air vent back here, which is nice to see. And then we can get a good look at those safari windows, which is really cool. Of course, they're on both sides as well. Now it's time to go ahead and take a look at the rear storage space. We have a door in the back. All you have to do is grab on this handle, and even with the full-size spare, it's very lightweight. It's easy to open and close. But now you can get a look for the space. With the back seats or the 3rd row up, you have a little bit of space to store items, but if I go ahead and pull on this strap, I can easily push both of these seats down, and it gives you a lot more room. So you can put any items back here with more of that rubberized texture. You can also lift this compartment up, and you can see you have the tools for the spare. There's a 12 volt over on the left side. You can actually raise and lower the rear end of the vehicle too. So if you have any items that you have to place in here, lowering that height definitely makes it easy. We have a 3-prong outlet on the right side. You have another net for extra storage and a couple hooks as well. You can also put in the optional net that runs from both sides just to hide in any items, which is really nice to be able to have. And then last up, you do have a little bit of storage space in this rear door. All right, so getting the 2020 Land Rover Defender out on the road now. If you're new to the channel, this is actually the 3rd review that I'm doing on the Defender. It is that cool to be able to check it out, and I can't get over every time I get to drive this. Even though it's the 3rd time, it's such an awesome truck or SUV to be able to drive. You feel so high up behind the wheel of this. I can see virtually over the entire hood. I can see over large SUVs like what just passed me. You just have a really high up presence driving this down the road. At the same time, it's super comfortable. You have so many different driving settings that you can go into, and it's very easy to get to. Simply clicking on that button that I already showed, we're going to stay in comfort mode. Brakes do a great job coming to a stop as well, but we're going to stay in comfort mode for the time being. And not even anything crazy. We're up to the speed limit just like that. It's crazy how luxurious this feels, but at the same time, it's really meant for going off-road. We have all of these materials that can stand up to those types of conditions, and this is a luxury off-road truck. You have a lot of creature comforts that you would like to have, but you also have all of the technology that you need to go off-road as well. You have the locking diffs that you can control. You have all of those different settings that will just make this truck, or SUV, I keep calling it a truck, make this handle well off-road, and it's so cool that you can do that. Unfortunately, we may not see a lot of these going off-road. I hope the owners who are buying these are actually doing that. Like, that's why you're buying a Land Rover Defender. You like that old school Land Rover Defender modernized into what it is right now, and at the same time, you can take it off-road and it can handle those types of situations. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a clip of their test track here at Greenville Luxury, actually taking this on their course here. I got to do that or film that on the last Defender that I checked out, but if you didn't see that video, we'll go ahead and show it right now. So this is only a sneak peek as to the capabilities to the Land Rover Defender. The employees here at the dealer actually got to go out west on a training course or a training facility where they got to drive these off-road, and this course here is nothing in comparison with what they got to do. So this is just the footage that I can get for you now, being able to go on their test course. We can get some tires off the ground, really see how steeply raked or the steep angles that this vehicle can handle, along with its ground clearance and approach and departure angles. So it's very cool that we're able to do that and at least show you guys a sneak peek with the capabilities that this truck has. And as far as on-road driving goes, because that's where it's going to see most of its life, it's probably going to be on the pavement. But coming around turns like that at a normal speed, it definitely handles it well. And then we're back up to the speed limit just like that. It's a very comfortable driving truck. It has a lot of visibility too. I love all of the glass that you get. It's very easy to see 360 view. You have the 360 camera to aid with that as well. And then even looking at this camera, hopefully that camera can see this one. We have the regular view that you would see in basically every other car, but now cars are starting to come with this flip-up camera screen. It's very cool. You can adjust it if you need to, and you have a crystal clear graphic as to what's behind you. You can actually see to a farther field of vision because you don't have to look at the pillars over your left and right shoulder. With it in the normal screen, you see all the headrests, you can see the tire, but now you can see everything and nothing is obstructing your view. But aside from that, I think that's going to wrap it up for my walk-around review, test drive, and off-road testing the 2020 Land Rover Defender. Once again, huge shout out to Greenville Luxury for providing this for me today. Definitely check out their website. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button and staying tuned for our next uploads. I'll see you guys in the next video.